welcome to another Tiki Trail Live, coming at you from Westfield, Indiana. Not in my home yet. Very close. We're very close. But I have a feeling this will probably be my second home here in Westfield. We are at 1205 Distillery tonight, where they make some amazing spirits. But more importantly, this whole month, they're doing a tiki menu the entire month. So we had to come and check it out. So we're going to be walking through and talking with some of the folks here about that. And we've got some other fun stuff. Man, let's see, tonight is episode 96. Can you believe this? 96 times we've done this over the last 2 years. Started it way back when for the beginning of COVID, and it's just kind of carried on. And most nights we have people from all around the world. Tonight seems to be a very much an Indiana, Southern California connection, and you'll hear more about that. And oh yeah, it's Valentine's coming up. So if you haven't gotten anything for your Valentine yet, pay attention to the folks in the McConney Marketplace. You might have something that you can buy, and maybe if you're lucky, maybe if you're nice, they'll get it for you in time for Valentine's Day. All right, so I think what we need to do is get started with our, well, let me go on to our guest list. That's what I need to do. So tonight we have in the pour along section, we have Billy Fredlund from right here in Westfield. He's going to be mixing up his cocktail, the Ring of Fire. I've had it. It's good. Loved it. As all the drinks are here are good. Musical guest then we'll go to our musical guest, Ron Telpner, out of Palm Springs, as a matter of fact. He's going to play a couple of tunes for us while we enjoy our said cocktail. And then after that, we're going to come back here to Westfield and talk with Nolan Hudson, the owner of 1205 Distillery, and talk about what he's doing here. There's a ton of distilleries and breweries, and the spirit world, if you will, around here is pretty hip. So we're going to talk about some of that. And then afterwards, we're going to go to our McConney Marketplace. And tonight we have Delisi Design, Royak Studio, and Aaron Hazori. Boy, Aaron, I should have asked you before we started the show if I'm pronouncing your name right. So you can smack me upside the head if I mispronounce that. So that's the lineup for tonight. Great show. And as I said, it's very much an Indiana to California connection. I don't know if you know this or not, but I moved from Southern California, from Orange County to Indiana. And I am not the only one to do that. Well, my wife and I are not the only ones to do that. Billy here, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Guys.
And you, sir, I have to ask a question. Why in the world did you move from California to Indiana? Because he just moved last fall, right?
Year and a half ago, actually.
Oh, year and a half ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was July 2020 we moved here. We were just sick of all the nice weather. Palm trees, sun, I couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah, it's just, and just not enough snow, and it was not cold enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those -7-degree nights. They're my favorite.
So it's funny, my wife and I, we pull up to 1205 the first time that we're here, and or second time we were here, I think it was, and we park right behind this car and we see a Disney annual pass holder sticker on the car in front of us. Like, wait a minute, that's really weird. It's Disneyland, not Disney World, Disneyland. And lo and behold, we ended up meeting fine folks who moved from California to Indiana. And the nice part is he's a mixologist. So we got that going for us. All right, you were making the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, so Ring of Fire was a drink that I came up with a couple months ago when we started talking about the tiki menu here. Good friends with all the bartenders and with Nolan, so wanted to do something that was tropical in essence, but maybe just a little different than your typical rum and orange juice, pineapple juice, and things like that. So kind of landed with 1205's gin and their Rhubarb Liqueur and strawberry, and threw a little bit of coconut in there, some cinnamon, and absolutely loved it. So,
all right, let's pour one up, man. All right, get us going.
First thing we're gonna do 2 heaping bar spoons of strawberry preserves.
Okay, now that one, if I'm sitting here the other night, I'm watching them make the cocktail, and I see the back of this jar, and I see him scoop it out, and I'm like, that looks like strawberry jelly. So how did that make it into a tiki cocktail?
So I wanted something that was concentrated in flavor, and strawberry preserves really do that. Any preserve is going to really concentrate down the flavor. It's going to add some sweetness, but not be overpowering like a jam or a jelly. Really wanted the essence of the strawberry in there, so that's where we went with.
It's awesome. So I can't argue it. That's for sure.
All right, so once we do the strawberry preserves, we are going to do half an ounce of cinnamon syrup. This is just 1-to-1 cinnamon syrup. We're going to bring up the cinnamon to boil in water, equal parts sugar. And so we go half an ounce of cinnamon syrup. And then I always like to do the Coco Real after the syrup, just because it's a little thicker. It's a little hard to get out of the jigger if you don't.
But what's really nice is then you can lick the inside of the jigger to get the coconuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wait, did I say that part out loud?
I mean,
my bad.
Here you go. I got more jiggers back here. So, all right. So we got half an ounce of cinnamon syrup. We got half an ounce of the Coco Real. We're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice.
That is a lot of lime juice, man.
You know, there's a.
So I mean, in that bottle, not in the
I was
cocktail.
gonna say, it's actually kind of a bit of lime juice in there as well. But you do want to cut through a lot of the sugars. The Coco Real is going to be pretty sweet. Cinnamon syrup, the strawberry.
Right.
So you want it to be able to hold its own place in there without really overpowering it.
Now this stuff is like the special sauce.
Exactly. So 1205 is Rhubarb Liqueur. It is bitter. It's a little dry. It's not super strong, but it does add a really great flavor to it. So we're gonna do half an ounce of the rhubarb.
Yeah, the first time I had that stuff, that was, bottle's coming home with me. That stuff's amazing.
We're gonna go 1.5 ounces of their gin. Now the gin is not your typical London dry gin. It is an American style gin. If you can't find this where you live, something like Aviator would be pretty close to it. This is a little bit more citrusy. I really like it. So that's it for that. Throw some ice in here.
I'm so excited. It's first time in, since September, I've actually been able to have the cocktail that we made for the night.
Now, the one thing with the preserves is you really have to shake it. So you really get a good hard shake on this one. And then we're gonna ice in the glass here. Ice everywhere.
Runaway.
That's all right. Then we're just gonna do a double strain of this. We do want to get as much of the preserve that's kind of hanging out there at the end. We do want to get rid of some of that. I'm doing this backwards, actually. I don't want to do it right-handed.
Well, welcome to the show. Yes, I'm doing it left-handed tonight too.
Exactly.
So you have to be ambidextrous in this whole thing.
It does pour out a little slow because again, the preserves and the Coco Real will keep it from it's really slow tonight.
Yeah, if I were trying this at home, I just don't go along. That's just me. But he's a professional. He knows what he's doing.
I'm just gonna dump it instead.
I didn't see anything. I'll edit that part out.
There you go.
Nice.
This is Indiana's finest on the preserves here.
Yeah, it is made right here in Indiana. That's awesome.
And we're just gonna garnish it with a cinnamon stick. Middle. Get you a straw here.
I forgot to bring my glass straw.
And there we go.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much.
That is the Ring of Fire.
I'm going to try this one because I haven't tried one yet, and if you believe that, oh yeah, that is a tasty cocktail. So you helped out putting together the Tiki menu here for this month. So what was your inspiration in putting these cocktails together? What made you bring these different drinks together?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole menu was a collaboration between all of the bartenders here, and Nolan. Nolan was here for it as well. And we sat around for a few hours and we had ideas that we had all been sitting on, made some cocktails, had a great time, tasted everything, kind of narrowed it down to the current menu. I think we had a few extras that didn't make the cut. So,
well, I like you guys you have some of the originals. You've got the classics like a painkiller. You've got Mai Tai. Very good. I've been here. I had to try them all. Well, with the exception of the Getting Laid. That's a vodka based tiki drink. I'm not big on the vodka side, but
I think a large part of it was trying to honor the classics, but also bring 1205 spirit into it.
Right.
The vibe here at the bar is a lot different than most bars I've been to. So they have their way of doing things, and it really comes across in this menu, I think.
Well, and the spirits are great. And there's what? How many different cocktails are there on the menu?
So on the menu, we've got one.
Yeah, wasn't going to count those myself, but
so there's
I thought maybe you knew.
Yeah, so we got 9 tiki drinks on the menu.
So 9 drinks, okay. And the Sazerac, that's obviously a staple there, but banana hammock, the Bring a Fire, which we've gotten. So you've got and the Dirty Banana, a couple of banana ones. That Polynesian Passion, also one you use with the rhubarb syrup.
Yeah,
it's very good. So how do you find mixing with these spirits as opposed to other spirits that you've mixed with?
Well, I think, a large part of mixing with these spirits versus, say a plantation or, even like a diplomatic or an El Dorado rum or a Beefeater or a Tanqueray gin, any of those, they have their own unique flavors to them. The 1205 rum is a very, it almost has that Jamaican funk without it actually being a Jamaican rum. Like I said, the gin is an American style gin, so it's a little more citrus forward, not as dry. Vodka, same thing. The bourbon is just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so I think when it comes to drink creation with them, you really have to take the individual flavors of the spirits and not the pun intended spirit of the spirit itself. So
yeah, and that's because each of these are very good. I've had a few of the spirits as well. And so, yeah, that just always made me wonder how you take something like a Mai Tai and bring in the spirit, craft spirit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with the Mai Tai, you kind of expect a certain drink. And when you start swapping out the spirits and say you're removing like a Smith and Cross and adding something like the 1205 rum, it definitely can change the profile. So
without a doubt. And the 1205, we're going to talk more with Nolan about that here in a little bit. But thanks, man. This is an awesome cocktail.
Thank you.
Very happy with the menu that you put together. My wife may not be happy because I may be here more often than she would like. But I'll have to see if I can bring her along. At any rate, so thank you very much. And mahalo, dude.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm glad you moved from California to Indiana.
So are we.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. I don't know who these people are that moved from California to Indiana. But like I said, there's a connection tonight. Everybody on the show is either in Indiana or in Southern California. And those in Indiana, well, most of us have a connection to California. So kind of crazy. All right. So now we've had our cocktail. Now we need to have our musician. So Ron Teltner, if you can go ahead and unmute, I am going to add you into the spotlight. And dude, I'm going to spotlight you pretty quickly because that jacket just deserves spotlightedness. Nice.
I'm glad you can hear me over this jacket.
Yes, we do hear you over the jacket. And you, sir, are from, you are here from Palm Springs, correct?
I'm here from Palm Springs, but I actually am from Toronto. So we have a Canadian representative tonight.
So you're one of those people that got smart and moved out of the snow and went to Southern California.
They call us snowbirds.
Yeah. They call us that go the other direction idiots, but that's a different story. So welcome to the show, Ron. Definitely glad to have you on.
Nice to be here. Nice to be anywhere, really.
Yes, indeed. So you've got a couple of tunes for us. I'm trying to get myself out of this this shot here and just bring you on.
Okay.
So I'll let you go ahead and crank out some tunes, man.
Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Ron Teltner. I could be the oldest man on Instagram, 72 years old next month, but I think I'm current. You will never know that from the music I play. And I've been playing, you know, I'm a survivor of cancer. It had some other complications. I lost 40% of my lung capacity. And because of Raynaud's, I have no feeling in my fingertips. And the doctors who, you know, told me I was going to be down for the count said if I sang, it would help my lungs. I learned to play ukulele. And all the songs I used to listen to when I was a kid, listening to WLS in Chicago, I can now play. And I remember them all, and I had a mind for trivia. So every day on my Instagram feed, you'll find a new song with a new look and a new hat and some history about that song. And if you're wondering about this jacket, for years, I owned an advertising agency with offices in Toronto, Denver, and Dubai. And I did advertising for Calvin Klein, Polo Ralph Lauren, Kenneth Cole, lots of fashion. And then, of course, the other ones really paid the money for the business. My motto was, have fun, stay young, make money. After kicking cancer and selling my agencies, I've changed that to have fun, stay young, make music. So I'm going to play you a couple tunes. The first one is it's fairly recent, 1959, by Dion and the Belmonts. And of course, I've just changed a couple words to make it more relevant for me. Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart, because I'm so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a senior citizen in love? One day I feel so happy, next day I feel so sad. I guess I'll have to learn to take the good with the bad, 'cause each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a senior citizen in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be the lonely one if you should say we're through. If you want to make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you should say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a senior citizen in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be the lonely one if you should say we're through. Well, if you want to make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you should say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a senior citizen in love? Why must I be a senior citizen in love? Why must I be the world's oldest teenager in love?
And you notice everybody's doing this, it's because they're all on Zoom and muted, so they have to do this.
So there's serious applause. There's serious
Yes,
applause.
yes, it's like a golf clap, but for Zoom.
You know, there are a lot of songs I play when I'm doing performances. And I know, I think the other Ron is in Joshua Tree. I played Pappy and Harriet's quite a few times. Of course, COVID has changed everything, so there's not as many clubs to play at. In Palm Springs, I played Shanghai Reds. There's only in California can you have a dispensary that has a stage and a lighting system that's incredible. And the 420 Bank here on North Palm Canyon has all kinds of rock and roll and burlesque shows, and every night there's talent in that dispensary. So I played there a few times, and I played this song. It's one of my favorites. It's by the Clovers, again from 1959, Love Potion number 9. It starts with a little Carole King. When I'm down and troubled and I need a helping hand, I take my troubles down to Madame Rue. You know that gypsy with a gold cap too. She's got a pad down at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. I've been this way since 1956. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. She said, what you need is love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. But when I kissed the cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm going to make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like Indian ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. But when I kissed the pop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. You know, you had Sarah Stevens on a couple of weeks ago. Sarah is my ukulele duet partner. We've been playing together for 6 years, and I know she mentioned that we started a movement on Instagram called the Virtual Ukulele Flash Mob for Peace. And so while I have people listening, I want to say that the next 6th annual is going to be on October 2nd. It's the first Sunday in October. We have musicians from around the world playing Benny King's 1961 hit Stand By Me, using the hashtag Ukes Not Nukes. Kala ukulele, which I'm playing one of theirs now with a low G, donates several ukuleles to encourage involvement. And so our 6th one coming up October 2nd, mark your calendars, it's going to be great. Now I've been asked to play some love songs because it is Valentine's week. Usually I play Stand By Me at every set. And now I'm going to try something a little different. I like these mashups that I do. This one is way more current. It was actually recorded first by the Waterboys in 1990. Ellie Goulding recorded it in 2013. And I've got a bit of an introduction to the song by Paul McCartney. I give her all my love. That's all I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too. And I love her. Ooh, ooh. How long will I love you? As long as the stars are above you. And longer if I can. How long will I need you? As long as the seasons need to follow their plan. How long will I be with you? As long as the sea is bound to wash upon the sand. How long will I want you? As long as you want me to, and longer by far. How long will I hold you? As long as your father told you. As long as you can. How long will I give to you? As long as live to you. And however long you say. How long will I love you? As long as the stars are above you, and longer, if I may. I give her all my love, that's all I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too, and I love her. How long will I love you? As long as the stars are above you. There you go, there's 3 songs.
Awesome, man. That was incredible. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I started playing, I was, after I kicked cancer's ass, which was not an easy thing to do.
Yeah,
It sort of
congrats on
morphed-
that, man.
It morphed into something called scleroderma. And, people heard of scleroderma sometimes for the first time when Bob Saget died and he talked about how his sister had passed of scleroderma. Scleroderma is a tough disease. It can attack your ligaments and joints and organs. I was diagnosed about 6 years ago. I was given 3 months to live. I was told to get my things in order. And I'm a collector. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you can see I have a studio in Toronto called the Ronsonian. It's like the Smithsonian, only just full of junk that I've collected. And my wife said, at the funeral, I'm going to give away all that stuff. And that was enough to get me better. I wasn't going to let her give away all my stuff. So apparently, I'm held together with duct tape, but, I seem to be a walking miracle. I'm still here. They did tell me if I kept singing, it would help my lungs, and it has. I'm on all kinds of medication to keep me going, but I sing every day. And I have an attitude of being positive. And even though I have nowhere to go because of COVID, I dress for the occasion. And I've got a lot of followers. And I give joy, and I tell stories, and it's a great creative outlet for me, especially after spending my life in advertising. And and it's fun. And I learn all these new songs. Some people do crossword puzzles or Sudoku or something. Memorizing, which is something we all did in school or in church or somewhere. You memorize a psalm, or you had to memorize a poem. These days, people don't memorize anything. They don't even know anybody's phone number anymore, right? It's all in your phone. So,
Oh, yeah. If you've said, give me your daughter's phone number, or I'm going to kill you, I'd be like, pull the trigger. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't
exactly.
know.
But if you memorize a song, it sort of triggers a certain part of your brain, I guess. And then you coordinate it with your strumming and figure, and it keeps you sharp, I think.
Well, absolutely. And when do we get to see you out in the wild doing what you do?
I'll probably be at the 420 Bank again on Thursday. But I'm pretty selective too. The last thing you want is to be, people get sick. Oh no, it's him again, right? I'm going to play Shanghai Reds again. My birthday is coming up, so for sure I'm going to be there. I have one more thing to tell you, because Valentine's Day is when you can make up or break up. And every Valentine's, I try to get my wife to be on a video. I shoot a ton of videos with Sarah. She loves it. She's a performer. We sing, we do all kinds of crazy stuff. I have to beg Patsy to be on a video with me. And so I got her the perfect Valentine's gift. I don't want her to know about this.
Oh, we won't show her.
It's a red Valentine cowbell.
Oh,
How great is
nice.
that?
Nice.
I expect
More cowbell.
More cowbell. We're going to be doing a video, I'm sure. I'm going to talk her into it. And so on Valentine's Day, look for that more cowbell video.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ron, for coming on. Awesome tunes, awesome story, and really love seeing what you're doing, man. It's great.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I hope you're entertained, and if some of your followers want to have wake up with a song every morning, tune in. I'm like those 3 things: death, taxes, and Ron playing a song on Instagram.
All right. Yes, that is good. And I like that last certainty. So we'll definitely, we've got all your social media and all your info in the chat. So yeah, you're going to have some new followers, man.
Thank you. I live on likes.
All right. Thank you.
My best. So take care. I'm going to run.
All right, so that was awesome. Now, yeah, see, this is a little hard because I'm working left-handed tonight. So if I'm looking distracted, it's because I'm trying to find how I can make this happen. But I'm playing left-handed here. All right, so we are sitting here at the 1205 bar. I'm not sitting by myself, so I'm not really get Nolan in here. There we go. So yeah, so there is a we actually. I was looking, it's like a we and going, wait, there's nobody in the picture with me, and it looks like I'm kind of sitting by myself. So we're sitting here at the 1205 tasting room in Westfield, Indiana. It's about 10 minutes from my new house, so I'm pretty excited about that. But enough about me and that. I want to talk with you. So this is an amazing place. And I think you put together a really cool, and it's not really a bar per se. It's a little bit different because of Indiana law, right?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana law is weird. Plus, like being a bar, owning a distillery, it's a lot of gray lines going in there. But
Because this is a tasting room.
we say
right?
tasting room. We also say cocktail lounge. But I would say Monday through Thursday until 7 p.m. we're a cocktail lounge. Thursday through Sunday until 11 p.m. we're kind of a bar. It gets a little rowdy in here. We get a lot of people coming in, a lot of live music playing. But our intention here was to kind of help expand our brand and make cocktails with only our spirits and cocktails that people can make at home and enjoy at home. So that was our expansion thought for this location.
And yeah, because you actually have now 3 locations, or soon to be 3 locations, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we have 2 right now. We have our downtown Indianapolis location. We have this location, and then we'll be opening up our big location, which would be 15,000 square foot distillery and tasting room in Lebanon. So just about 10, 12 miles down the road from here.
And I asked the question a while ago, where did 1205 come from? And I'm going to put it out there to you guys. See if anybody can guess where 1205 came from, and see if you guys are on top of this. So if you think you know, put it into the chat, and we'll let you know here in a second. So how long have you had 1205? How long have you?
1205 has been in business for about 7.5 years, almost 8 years.
Hey,
it was started by my family. We started a brewery, a distillery, and a restaurant.
Oh, hang on one second, because I have somebody who's going to be asking a question. So I am going to. Are you there, Carbon?
Yeah, I'm going to say 1205 is what I'm going to read on this.
You're not going to put it in the chat. You're just going to belt it out. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm not, because I don't have my chat. So
okay.
I know what it is.
All right. Where do you think 1205 comes from?
No, if I read this bottle, I'll know, but I don't want to do that. Somebody else.
He's cheating.
He's cheating because I took him a bottle of the 1205 rum.
Right on. Awesome.
So when I was out there,
that's our old bottle too. Yeah, nice. Save that. It's a collector's item.
All right.
So you can't say it. You can't say it there. So anyway, you were saying it's been around for, you said 8 years?
Yeah, so about 8 years. We started in end of 2013 was when we kind of got our business license. 2014 was when we really started ramping up everything with production. And that was when my family started it. We had a brewery, distillery, and a restaurant going at the same time. And most of our focus went towards the brewery and the restaurant. So my business partner, who's actually the distiller, Brad, who's the genius, the mind behind everything, we put in and we decided to buy the distillery off of my family in April of 2017. So this will be 5 years in April that we owned it. So that's kind of when we say that 1205 started, because that's when we took all of our ideas and we mixed it into one and made it kind of our company instead of just kind of the secondary company behind the brewery or the restaurant. So we'll say 5 years. 5 years ago we started. We've been producing vodka, gin, and our 3 whiskeys during that time. And then we expanded to our liqueurs, more of our kind of experimental whiskeys. So we went from having 2 products full-time before we purchased it to now having, I think we have like 9 on part-time right now. Then we have like 4 or 5 more specialties that we release every year.
Very nice. I mean, the thing I was amazed at when I moved here were how many craft spirit places there are.
Mhm.
And I mean, you guys obviously been able to thrive in this environment with all the competitors, so that's great. And I understand why, because the spirits are really good.
Mhm.
Why do you think this area? Because I mean, Westfield's a town of what, 40,000 people max, something like that.
Yeah, if that now.
And we
yeah.
have 2 distilleries, 2 breweries, and wine bar. There seems to be a lot of craft beer and craft spirits. Why do you think that is? Is it because it's cold as hell outside right now, and that's what people need at this
I
time?
mean, it can't hurt. It's definitely not going to hurt. I think a lot of it is Indianapolis is only so big. And in Indianapolis, we have countless distilleries, countless breweries, wineries, some cideries. And there's just so much you can do in Indianapolis. And so everyone's looking for that next spot outside of Indianapolis. And if you know the area, you know there's Indianapolis, there's Carmel, then there's Westfield, Zionsville, Fishers, Noblesville, all those kind of right past Carmel. Carmel's kind of the main one right after Indianapolis. Carmel's so damn expensive, right? Everything in Carmel is so expensive.
Yes, it is.
So the only way kind of around that is to look at the areas around Carmel and see what you think is going to be the next big one. We picked Westfield as our next big area in central Indiana. And I think we kind of hit a home run with it. When I said we were going to open up in Westfield, I got a lot of weird looks, a lot of people saying that's dumb. And 2 years later, we're killing it in Westfield.
Yeah.
We look for places around big areas. We try to look for like that suburban neighborhood around it and try to grow from there. So like our next location is in Lebanon, and I guarantee you no one watching this has heard of Lebanon, which is
that
good.
would be not Lebanon,
Yeah.
but Lebanon.
Lebanon, Indiana. Yep.
Yeah.
Just about 10 miles west of here.
Not to be confused with Warsaw, Milan. Some people say Milan. Yeah, Indiana seems to borrow a lot of.
We have
international
Brazil,
cities.
we have Denver, we have Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all of them here. But Lebanon is, it's just, 5 miles north of one of the big cities in central Indiana, Zionsville. So we try to find the area that we think is going to grow next, and we try to move into that. And I think you're going to see a lot more distilleries and breweries doing that. Like when, we were not the first brewery or distillery to open up here. There was Grand Junction, there was Fields, and now West Fork's opening up down the street. So
Right.
I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to try to claim that we're the first ones to notice Westfield. It was definitely Grand Junction and Fields that beat us to it, but we just try to find those places that we see potential in the future.
So when you guys look to make your spirits, what goes into you deciding we're going to do this type of bourbon or this type of or that type of bourbon or this type of rum? And what goes into your thought process as you're making these?
A lot of it, I would say 99% of it is my distiller, Brad, who's my business partner. He owns this with me. It's his brain. He's a very weird guy. So he's into some weird stuff. Especially when it comes to spirits. We'll say when it comes to spirits, he's into some weird stuff. But he likes to see what distilleries are doing and deviate from that. We don't want to make what everyone's doing, because if you're going to make a London dry gin, you're going to compete with Beefeaters, you're going to compete with Seagram's, you're going to compete with all these big companies. So Brad will look at these markets and see kind of where can we fit in? And that's his masterpiece. He's like, all right, so all these London dry companies have their gin. I'm not going to fight some 80-year-old guy that's been drinking Beefeaters for 40 years. I'm going to try to find that high school kid. Whoa. I'm going to find that mid 20, 30-year-old kid.
Yeah, there you go.
who,
Post-college kid.
When he was in high school, stole gin from his parents and hated it.
Yeah,
That's
there you
the
go.
word I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So they hated the gin they stole from their parents in high school. So they're like, you know what? Screw that. We're going to find another gin. So we try to find that market where it's like, I don't like tasting a pine tree, so I want something else, but I don't like gin. We're going to try to convince you that you do like gin, because not all gin tastes like a pine tree. Most of gin is going to be very, floral, citrusy, botanical, but you just had that bad time with that one gin that ruined your experience.
Right.
So we do that with like gin and vodka. We try to make a very vodka that works with cocktails. Our whiskey, most like our bourbon, our rye. Ryes, a lot of the ryes you try are going to be that high rye where it's gonna be like 90% rye, 95% rye. We go with a 55% rye. So Brad he explores the market and sees where we can fit in and try to have our spot in it. So especially with like rye whiskey, absinthe, we have a lavender absinthe, our rhubarb liqueur. I mean, if you find rhubarb liqueur outside of Iceland, pretty much, like, it's gonna be crazy. We try to find stuff that we're not fighting with other local brands or other big brands. We're trying to kind of slide right underneath them and hit a market that they might not be hitting.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm impressed with the spirits. I had the vodka thrust upon me, much to my protest, and loved it. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's a quality vodka that, yeah, I mean, I could see it in any of these cocktails, quite frankly. So yeah, I can see how you guys are doing things a little bit differently. So speaking a little bit differently, we're sitting here in central Indiana. It's I think it's actually a warm front today. We're in the the 20s or 30s.
Double digits.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
Nice night.
So, and we're sitting here in the middle of February, and you guys do a Tiki Month.
Yep.
So, and a whole Tiki menu. So how did that come about?
That all started, we released our rum. So when we bought the distillery, we weren't very well known by any means. Our tasting room was 125 square feet. So we were looking for something different to do that would get people in. And we had a rum aging in barrels. And we're like, what do people want right now? It's, 5 degrees out. It sucks in Indiana. Like, let's turn the heat up. Let's get mosquitoes in. Let's try to get everything going. Let's try to make like a tiki atmosphere in this place. So we had one day where we released our new rum 5 years ago, and we decided to make some tiki cocktails, just like 2 or 3 tiki cocktails. And we were slammed. We're like, oh, wow, this is actually a good thing to do. So we tried it the next year, and it kept growing and growing and growing. So when we opened up Westfield, this location, we're like, let's try it for an entire month. And so last year was the first time we tried it. I'm not gonna say half-assed it, but we didn't go full on with the decorations and stuff. We definitely didn't this year either, but we just tried to do something where it's cold out. Let's try to bring some summer vibes into a place. And especially in Westfield, there's not really a tiki bar in this area. So we just tried to do something a little bit different. And every year it's kind of grown and grown and grown. So last year was kind of seeing if it worked. This year is seeing if last year was a fluke. Which so far has not been a fluke. So then next year we'll one-up it again. So we just kind of saw a spot in central Indiana where, especially in Westfield, where there wasn't like a tiki bar. It was cold, hard to get people to come out. And so we just tried to bring some warm weather inside by making some fruity, citrusy tiki drinks.
Well, and that you did. Big score on the cocktail menu, that's for sure.
Thank you.
So what other kinds of things I haven't been here past February now. So what other kinds of things do you have coming up throughout the year?
Our St. Patty's Day party is huge. We opened up our expansion last year on St. Patty's Day. So we bring in a big band every year. We throw a big St. Patty's Day party. Our summer menu and spring menu should be delicious. And then we have some pretty big releases coming out here soon as far as spirits go. I don't know when we're going to release them, but we have a 6-year-old bourbon and a 6-year-old wheat whiskey coming out here soon.
Oh, nice.
So those will be some big releases. Definitely not ones we're going to make some tiki drinks with or anything, but just some really solid spirits. But yeah, once we hit summer, we will have some bigger bands coming in so we can open up the garage door. But yeah, summer, spring are a lot of fun here. It's going to be pretty big here.
Well, I want to thank you for not having the garage doors open now tonight.
Oh, you're weak. Come on.
I know.
California.
Damn California. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, man. I definitely appreciate. We've got, I think, all the information for people to follow 1205 in the chat. And let's see. Barometric pressure. Nope. Oh, look at that.
There we go. One of them got it.
Bamboo Ham. You nailed it, dude. That is the date Prohibition was repealed, December 5th,
1933,
aka 1205. So yeah, kind of cool. All right, well, thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna get on with the show.
Right on.
You've got some guests to attend.
I got some people showing up. Yep.
All right. So yeah, this is a a great spot. If you're here in central Indiana, come on out.
How's it going? Good.
Come on down. If you want, come visit me. Let me know that you're here. I'll be more than happy to join you. All right. So now we have got the McConney Marketplace. We have guests in the back here. So they were kind of waiting off here like, whoa, what's going on? So that's what we get to do when we're live. All right. So I'm going to go to Nick DeLisi. I've got you right up front there, sir. I'm going to add you into the spotlight. How are you doing, my friend?
How's it going?
It's going really well. I'm sitting here, dude. You don't know. I moved from California end of last September, and all my stuff's in storage. So every Tuesday night, I'm watching them make cocktails because I'm sitting at a makeshift desk, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm excited. I actually get a cocktail tonight.
That's awesome.
Professional made cocktail.
I don't know how to follow up Ron. I didn't know you were having like the ukulele Johnny Cash in. He was awesome.
I know, man.
That was awesome.
That's the thing. We get some pretty cool people on the show. So yeah. And so now let's talk about your stuff, because you, sir, have some pretty cool stuff as well.
Okay, so I am not from Indiana or California. I'm from the mythical place called Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
But you're in Los Angeles.
I'm in Staten Island, New York, which is even more mythical than Philadelphia.
Well, why does my cheat sheet say you're in Los Angeles? I don't know.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, all right.
You read my mind.
So you're the rogue that's not from Indiana or
Yep.
California. Okay.
So DeLisi Designs started. It's actually my dad was an animation intern for Disney in the 90s. Life happened and it got cut a little short, and he had me and my brother and my siblings and went on and got another job out of like the art realm. So once COVID started, he kind of decided, he talked to me about picking up, like doing like more like Disney designs, art. I'm a contractor. I do a lot of woodworking and he does as well. So we sort of did DeLisi Design kind of as like a creative outlet. And I was kind of just showing us off on Instagram. And then the messages started coming in like, are these for sale? So finally, after like a couple months in, the time was right and we started selling them. We have a website coming up the end of the month. We kind of do like a shop drop sale once a month. So we finally have a website coming in the next couple of weeks. So look out for that. But I kind of have a sample.
Make sure to send us the link to the website so we can
absolutely
promote that for you.
Great. So I kind of brought a sample of some random things. I don't know if anybody's like a big Disney fan, but I have like a hodgepodge of items. So
I don't know if you're gonna find Disney fans in Tiki. I don't know, man.
No.
yeah. There's just a few, myself included.
So I don't like, if you're anything like myself, I'm a little heartbroken that Splash Mountain is going after probably like the next year or two. So we kind of kicked off things. We do a lot of Splash Mountain items, and this is one thing that's going to be for sale at the sale.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of some of the obscure characters. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we use a 3/4 inch plywood for most of them. Cut the shape. I do a lot of the cutting. I do like a rough sketch, get the basic shape. And my dad's more the painter. Gets a lot of good detail in for being 60 plus years old.
Hey, watch that.
I know he's going to be watching this, so I have to bust on him a little bit.
I said, I'm not there yet, but I'm almost there. Close enough.
So this is one that we got going.
And that's the owner who did that, so that's on him.
And this one's pretty large. This is more of an animated look.
25 years
from the scene from the ride.
Yep.
So most things that you'll see on when our site's up and on our Instagram is in this like size range, like 12 inches by 12 inches, maybe a little bigger. But if you kind of scroll down to the beginning, we make things for our own lawn. So we have like a life size like Sully or Mater, that Mater's like the size of like a car. And like we
No
have some
way.
people who will like scroll down and be like, are you selling a Mater? I'm like, if you could drive all the way here and pick it up, I'll sell it to you. But in the meantime, we're only doing these small little things. They're easy to ship. And like any other good artist, we hop on popular trends as soon as they're happening. So I'm sure some of you heard about the Figment popcorn bucket that blew through all of Epcot.
No, no.
Yeah,
Where's
did you
that?
hear about that?
No, I did not.
Right down the middle.
So
Walk back and she
if
looks.
I want to say probably like the lower 20s, like the bloggers, they found out that Disney was releasing a Figment popcorn bucket. And popcorn buckets are kind of all the rage
It's
for
kind of going for
the
that
collectors now in the parks.
hipster
Yeah.
So
Viking. I do like
when this
that.
came out in the Festival of Arts in Epcot, there was a mad dash. There were 6-hour waits to get the popcorn bucket. And obviously, this is just a wood cutout.
When I cut it
But
out.
we're gonna be
It's
making
not going to
more
hold
of
much
these.
popcorn at all.
No, but it'll look nice on your desk. So we did a few of these. Look it up because it's crazy. People were spending their days in the parks waiting in line for a popcorn bucket. So we hopped on that as quick as possible. We'll have a couple of these available. And if you're anything like me, we're a big like Mark, Mark Davis,
Yes.
the Imagineer. We do a lot of Mark Davis inspired cutouts here. So this is like a Haunted Mansion piece. We're big Haunted Mansion, Mark Davis, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, Tiki Room guys. So we have stuff like this.
I'll finish it then.
What we got here? See, this is popular.
Dang, I
There's
should've
a
gotten
very
more than one.
big cult following for Alice in Wonderland,
Oh, I didn't
and
bring
we've
you
been
my-
making a bunch of doorknobs.
I know we had-
Nice.
We're kind of trying to figure out a way to manufacture it to
But
where
I mean, I
we
like.
maybe
I
take
like
the nose
diet.
off and you can put it around an actual door, like a functioning doorknob. So, but we got to see like with the spacing of the nose, how we can make it work to where it's not kind of like a DIY. We're setting it like a at-home project to people. So for now, we'll just do this. See how it goes.
Very nice.
For any Pinocchio fans, we'll have this up. And so right now we're kind of
Nice.
we're like in the early stages of, we've only had the Instagram for a year. We've only had probably 3 or 4 sales where we drop like a multitude of items. So that's why we're making like a range of things. We don't really have a set like 4 or 5 items, and each month these will go out. So we're kind of testing the waters, kind of making whatever we want, and then see what the feedback is, what the response is to, and then hopefully soon we'll have kind of gauge like what people want and try to have them out for them. And that's why we know that the new attraction, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So if you go on our Instagram, we have a few of those, but this one I'm actually excited for because I'm a sucker for villains. So we had to make Pete.
Nice.
So this will be at the sale. We'll probably have 1 or 2 of these going out.
Now, are
And
people able to ask you for things? Can they say, "Hey, I want to have this"?
so
this done?
we were doing that in the beginning, and then we had people ask us for like the wackiest things, and like it's like some things that we like didn't want to make. Like for example, and it's funny, we had a couple who was expecting a baby, and they wanted Donald Duck kind of like prom posing a pregnant Daisy Duck, and we were just like, I don't know if I want to do that.
You'll get a letter
Message us
from
in a couple
Disney.
months. If we're desperate, we'll make it for you. But yeah, so, but I want to say, once we kind of gauge what items are popular, we're gonna have like a slot with a fixed price for like once a month we'll do like a custom order. We'll have people like ask us whatever, as long as it's in like, it's not something ridiculous, like making like a life-size mater for your lawn. We could probably knock it out pretty well. We're a two-man team, me and my dad. My dad was going to be on here, but he's not too tech savvy. So I'm holding the reins.
I want a life-size Sully. Can you do that?
I would say like
We have it. I'll tag you in it.
Man.
I would say December.
So the last thing that I have here is we've made well over 24 of these so far. They're very popular even after Christmas, and you've probably seen them in the corner of my screen. But we have Chip and Dale from the famous short Pluto's Christmas Tree.
Oh, those are beautiful.
These, it went like viral on Instagram when we made these, and we did not expect these at all. So we've been making these like hotcakes. So expect probably like 6 or 7 of these sets to be in the next sale, but these will be back. I tell people these will be back. We had a wait list and we couldn't even keep up with it. So these are probably like the hottest thing we got going right now. And they're pretty cool.
So now with the art that you have, I mean, it's so on point. Have you gotten a letter from Disney, either pro or con? Because I know they reach out to artists and bring them into the culture, into the community. And it seems like this is something they should bring you into the D23 and some of the other stuff that they're doing.
So we've been kind of flying under the radar as long as possible, but we have, my dad has a friend who works for Disney still. He's like accrued a bunch of friends from when he's worked there. So we're kind of getting to the point where we have quite a few followers and we're worried about getting like the cease and desist, you know? So we're kind of going to have to vary things, change it up a little bit to where we kind of stay in the gray area of making designs. We probably can't make like Pinocchio straight up, like once we accrue a bigger following, but we're going to see what we can get away with for now until we get that bad letter. But we have things worked out to, we have somebody working on like a kind of gray area checklist to where we could get things out, get things going.
Nice. Yeah, that's incredible stuff, man. Any other pieces you want to show before we go?
This is all I have on me today, but I do have one on my phone that I took a picture of, but it's in my shop. So I hope you can see it. But for more Splash Mountain fans, we're trying to get more Splash Mountain items out. And this is, I'll get my ring light out. This is another Splash Mountain piece.
Oh man, that's really nice.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. That's some killer art that you guys have, what you're doing. So I'm excited to see when you bring that website live and we're able to purchase. But in the meantime, we can follow Instagram and all of that, correct?
Yeah. Yep. You can follow us on Instagram, Delisi_design, and we'll have other things out that'll stay like solidly on the site. Like we have enamel pins that we're making, and I do graphic design, so I'll have some t-shirts out. But yeah, definitely look for these in the next couple of weeks. We'll have one shop drop. We usually do the end of the month, each shop drop. And what you kind of see here is what you get. So we're not going to have like 50 to 100 items. It's probably usually in like the 20 to 30 range. So things usually go quick. But
yeah, I would imagine so.
But yeah, so that's kind of why we did the enamel pins and t-shirts, just so we have something in the shop where people don't get too upset if they don't get what they want.
Nice. Yeah, that is awesome stuff, man. Great work, great art. Like I said, we got all your stuff in the chat there. So people can follow you. And as soon as you have that website, man, we're going to be all over it.
Oh, I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. This has been fun.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick. In New Jersey, not in Southern California. I'm going to just quit looking at my cheat sheet because I don't know how that happens. But anyway, so we've got that. Now I'm going to go to Royak Studio and Jody. And go ahead and unmute, sir, and I'm going to bring you into the spotlight. Are you in San Diego? Is my cheat sheet just completely screwed up tonight?
Yes, sir. I'm in San Diego.
Okay, good. All right. Well, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on, man.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about the art that you do.
Yeah, I'm totally inspired by pop art, and that's what I love to do right now. But I am heavily influenced by Whitco and 1960s pop art. I mean, kitsch art and things like that. So I'm all over the board. I love to create. I say art is an itch I have to scratch. So there's many ways I need to scratch it.
Okay, I'm not even going to touch that one.
Thank you for not touching me.
So let's see some of what you got, man. I'm anxious to show this off.
Okay, just to start things off though, because they were talking about Disney and the last guy, I am just very proud. I want to share one piece, is almost a little brag. One of my original production drawings of Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. This is one of my favorite pieces I own.
Nice.
That's just something that I want to show. That's just something I'm really very proud of, and I'm very happy to have that.
You're making all the Disney files on here jealous.
Yeah. Trust me, I was jealous for a long time. When I finally pulled the trigger on that, I'm very happy I did though. But it's a really cool piece. But lately, what I've been doing a lot of is pop art, and I've been doing what I call hero heads. And what I do is I just like pick a character and cut out his head out of ultralight MDF, and then I paint it, and it's been going crazy. Like one of the popular ones is Spider-Man, of course, and I like to switch things up. So a lot of people are familiar with Mondrian, a very famous artist. So I made a Spider Mondrian.
Oh, nice! Wow.
This is just one layer of a 1/2-inch ultralight, but that's just some of the things I've been doing. And just like I said, I cannot believe the response and the orders that have been coming in. I can't keep up with my orders right now.
So you said that this is MDF. Now, those of us that are not MDF, what is that?
It's a medium density fiberboard. It's almost like a particle board, but it's a much it's like fibers put together that's in the shape of plywood, 1/2-inch thick. These pieces are.
Gotcha. So that's incredible. Yeah. What else?
And then what we do is also, like, this is a character called Bybeast, which is from Hulk 169, I think, by Herb Trimpe. But I don't know if you can tell, because like what I like to do is use multiple layers. Because if you see, like, there's different layers on the teeth, the eyes.
That's awesome.
And it's just that gives it a dimension and a scale that you can't get from a painting. And so like this stuff has gone really popular. Like I did a Doctor Doom, and I don't know how many orders I've done at Doctor Doom. And that's just, I mean, it's another dimension, because I paint a lot, and I'll show you one of my paintings.
So now when you do those, are you layering the different levels of different boards together?
Yeah, there's multiple layers of MDF. One I did was 5 layers, and it's not truly 3D, but it gives a depth and a dimension that you can't get from a painting. Like one of my paintings, I love Ralph Bakshi.
Started preparing for the spring one, so every day I get at least 2 new drinks.
Ralph Bakshi is just such a famous animator. This is just one piece I did for his character.
That's nice.
But that doesn't give you the look that the layered pieces do. And so it's just something I've been exploring, and people have been responding to it really, really well. And then I do tiki pieces. I don't know if you can see, like a mid-century modern style tiki.
Nice. That's really nice.
Just pieces like that. So, I mean, I was very inspired by Whitco. I love the pieces that company did. I'm sure most people are familiar with Whitco, the World International Trade Company, but how they used the colors, the oranges, the blues, and the greens, and then they mix it with wood, and they would burn the wood. It's just such a beautiful look that I've been totally inspired by that for many, many years.
Well, I can see, yeah, because that, especially that tiki piece, it felt Whitco-esque, if you will, with the striations that you had in there, like the wood. That kind of reminded me of it. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I totally can see that.
Thank you very much.
So what else do you have for us tonight?
Well, one thing that I'm very proud of, I love to talk about, is my company, Blink. And one thing, as being an artist, art is my number one passion. Everything I do is revolves around art. And like most of us, I hate hanging pictures. I hate hanging art up. And so I finally had a little revelation one day, and I invented the world's easiest picture hanging hardware. Super easy.
Oh, is that little hook?
Yeah. See, my tagline is, "We take the anger out of hanger."
Nice. Okay, so I see that. Nice, very nice.
It's what it is. It's hanging hardware that marks the wall for you. There's little marking pins on them, so wherever you want your picture when you're hanging it up, like this. See, these are the hangers right here.
Yep.
And if you can see, if I angle it, there's that little mark. See that little pin sticking out?
Oh yeah.
That pokes a hole in the wall. So wherever you want it, just press. You go like that, and it sticks. Those little pins poke a hole in the wall, and that's where you put your nails in those holes, so you hang it exactly where you marked it.
Oh, very nice. Why didn't somebody think of that earlier?
Well, when I thought of it, I'm like, there's no way this is not already a product. I mean, this has to be something. And I couldn't believe that I got 5 patents on it and been in production. It's like, seriously, it is the easiest way to hang pictures I've ever dreamed of.
Well, given all the art that we all buy on this show and in this whole community, that is a godsend. I can tell you that.
And you know what I did? I set up on my website, blinkhangers.com. Anyone watching this, if they use the code Tiki, I'll give you 40% off your order.
Oh, nice, man. All right. So Sam will be putting that into the chat. So 40% off with the code word Tiki. Nice.
Yeah, just put Tiki in when you check out, and it'll give you 40% off. And I've done 25%, but because this is more my style and this is my genre, that I really want to say thank you, and I want to show the people that I appreciate the support, and I want to give them a really good deal.
Well, thank you very much. That's awesome. And yeah, I know I'm going to be jumping out there.
It's just
so that,
the one thing.
The website once again.
Oh, Blink hangers. So like you blink your eyes.
Yep.
And hangers. Yeah.
Blink hangers, and that's hangers with an A or an E. I always get that one confused.
Hangers, HANGERS.
ERS. All right. Yeah. I think the other is an airplane hanger.
Yeah, that's an airplane hanger. You don't want to hang your pictures with a hanger like that.
Yeah, no, that would be really tough. Or pound it in with an airplane. All right. So thank you very much for joining us. This is awesome. Love your work, man. I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. And so let's see. Let me go ahead and we can move on to the next person, Aaron Hazori. I'm hoping, Aaron, I'm pronouncing your name right, man. Let me see if I can find you, sir. There you are. And I'm going to add you into the spotlight. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. And
perfect.
So how badly did I mutilate your name?
No, it was perfect. That was good.
Awesome. Yeah, I get down to the list and I get to your name. I was like, oh crap, I should have asked him.
No, that was good.
All right, cool. So let's talk about what you're doing.
Well, yeah, so I'm an illustrator. I don't really make any cool stuff like the other guys do. I don't make anything 3D. I just draw a lot.
That's always good too.
I mean, I think it's good. I have some, what can I show you? I'm sorry, I'm working right now. I'll just tell you, I had a client earlier today was like, hey, I need some stuff by end of day today. And I'm like, oh, okay. The deadline was Friday, but sure, let's move it up 3 days. So I'm feverishly working now, but I did pull, I'll just say a little bit about me. I'm an illustrator. I have kind of been a freelance artist off and on for the past 10 or 15 years. I don't like having a regular job, so I do art, and sometimes I'm an art teacher. Sometimes gosh, I don't know. Since I moved out to LA, I've taken 4 or 5 different weird jobs, but right now I'm an art teacher and I still illustrate. So I do concept art, I do illustration art, book covers, some storyboards, stuff like that. And I do prints, and I sell prints online sometimes, but it gets really, it's a lot because I also do envelope art on the prints when I ship them. So as the work piles up, the artwork that I have to do piles up. So I turn my print shop on and off based on how busy I am. So it's off right now, but I'm going to turn it on after this so people can buy some stuff.
Yeah, we need to have that on. So let's see some of your art there, man.
So let me see. I've got this. I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. So I'm going to show you just a couple of pieces that I did from that era. So if you're not of that era, you might be like, what are these things? What are these drawings of? And I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan. In fact, some of the stuff I'm working on now is Ninja Turtle stuff. I was actually contacted from my Turtle stuff to do art for the Turtles toys that are going to be in Target sometime this year, which is for me really exciting because I'm such a big fan.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
But I can't show you that stuff yet because it's not out yet. But I can show you. Let me see. This one is really cool. So I'm a Turtles fan and I'm a huge Ghostbuster fan. So this is it's like a mashup piece. Can you see that? Okay, sort of. You can see it. Okay. Yeah. So like a mashup piece. You can see all this stuff on my Instagram too, in much better quality than me holding up a piece to the camera. And let's see if I got anything else that would be kind of worth showing on screen. Let's see. Oh, so envelope art. Yeah. So this looks better on screen. Here's an example of the stuff I do when people buy prints.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably overboard, but it's fun. I mean, I like to do it. So, but that's why I can only do so many at a time because it piles up.
Well, yeah,
But
you
yeah,
got some pretty good detail in there as well. So I imagine it takes you a little while to produce.
It
some
does,
of that.
and I shouldn't spend that long on it, but it's fun. So I end up spending way more time than I should, and then I get a pile of them to do, and I'm like, all right, I better shut the print store down again for a couple weeks.
Nice. So any other stuff you have you can show us?
Gosh,
Since you
and,
teased us about the Ninja Turtle stuff.
So much of it doesn't look good on camera. I'm trying to find something that looks cool on camera, but let me see what else I've got. Well, here's one of my favorites. This one's bright. This is kind of there we go. Yeah, that's a cool one. More turtles, Slash and April. I'm such a huge turtle fan. I mean, I do this stuff as commissions, and then the commissions turn out really cool, so I turn it into a print because why not?
Yeah, I was going to ask if people can order art from you.
Yes.
And make commissions.
My website is, my Instagram is the best place to go. My Instagram is cartoonist Aaron, and from there you can get a link to my website when it's open, which I'll have it open up later tonight. And that's the best place to buy stuff, but you can also just check out my work. That's always cool. The coolest thing about Instagram is it's led to me getting pretty neat professional connections and gigs and stuff like that. So I'm thankful for that. You know what I have? Speaking of that, I have a Donkey Kong. Where's my Donkey Kong?
Oh man, talk about a child of the 80s. Yeah, that was my game back in the 80s, man. I wasted many college nights playing that game.
I loved it as a kid, and this is for a company that does like loot boxes, and so this was done as an art print that went in the loot boxes. There we go. There's Donkey Kong.
Oh, that is awesome.
And the old school Mario down there.
Yeah, that's the Mario I like. That one.
The angry one with the curly mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun to do. This was a fun piece. So yeah, I do stuff like that, video game stuff. I did a Dragon's Lair one not too long ago for this same company. I think they're called Bam Box. I did not Frogger. What's the other? Paperboy. I did a Paperboy one, which was really tough to figure out. Do I still have that one? It was tough to figure out how to draw Paperboy as a drawing. I'm looking to see if I still have it, and I think it worked pretty well. I think somebody must have. Oh, there it is. There's Paperboy. So I'll share this one too. There we go.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that kind of stuff. That
looks like some of those crazy trading cards as a kid, you know.
Yes, I love those kind of things. Yes, absolutely. Anything 80s, 90s, that's my era. Those were the best days.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with yes. I was a kid in the 80s. Sure.
Love that stuff. I
I
love
was
it.
an old kid in the 80s. Well, thank you very much for this, man. We've got your website in the chat.
Awesome.
Or your Instagram in the chat. I mean, Cartoonist Aaron, we've got that there. So yeah, go out to the Instagram, follow him, and open up your store so we can come buy stuff.
I will do that right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's like that. What was that old Mervin's commercial? The woman at the door with a big sale going on. She's like, open, open. We're gonna be sitting there, open, open, open.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Definitely appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. So that, I believe, is that for another Tiki Trail live. So we had some great guests here. We had some people, you know, interlopers from New Jersey coming in, but other than that, we were from cool states. No, just kidding there. All right, so we have got next week's show. Let's talk about next week. And I see Sam on here, so I'm going to bring you up, Sam, if you can unmute. And added you in. How are you doing?
Hey, aloha, Jeff. I'm doing wonderful. Just enjoying the show.
Yeah, and for once, I've been able to get to a bar during the show. So I've seen you at a couple of these bars when we do that. So tonight I was able to make it.
I'm definitely jealous. It looks pretty cool.
It is a fun place. So what do we got next week? What's happening? What are we doing? Who you got? Where are we going?
Glad you asked. Well, I hope you pack your bags. We're traveling again next week. We're going international. So Tune Tiki's is going to head the pour along. And then we're going to go to Mexico and enjoy some martini on the beach. And then we're going to travel to Portugal, where our featured guest will be Benjamin Birch. And then we just have a bunch of great artists as well lined up for that night.
Okay, who do I talk to in this company to interview him, this person in Portugal, in person? I need to do that in person.
That's how I feel. Can I go with you?
Yeah. Wow, man, that's awesome. So yeah, looking forward to next week's show. As we slowly march to 100, we're getting there. Exciting stuff I see next week in the works. And for the next few shows after that, we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff happening as well. More news coming. But yeah, so thanks, Sam, for putting together the great group that you've got in here tonight. And again, that Indiana, California connection, well, save for one of them. But yeah, that was cool. I know,
yeah,
you
and
did
I
that on
can't wait
purpose,
for the
right?
next coming weeks too.
Yes, I'm looking forward to next week's episode 97. Holy cow, can you believe that? We've been at this 96 times. Wow. So far.
It's flying by.
It is. It is. Well, thank you very much for bringing those guests and doing the voodoo that you do. And from what I understand, you are not making the show next week because somebody's having a birthday party, or not a party, but a birthday happening.
Yes. So it is my birthday next week. So I have something special planned that night. I don't know about it, but I'm excited.
All right. Well, you want to report live from it? Just, call in and, give us the updates.
We can definitely do that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for bringing in the guests and getting everything set up.
Thank you, Bamboo.
All right. Let's see. So there we go. That is our show for another Tuesday night. And it was a good one. It's been fun actually getting out and seeing people and being a part of the scene again, which we're going to be doing more of. Actually, 2 nights from now, we're going to be at the Inferno Room. The Tiki Underground pop-up that was happening last week got snowed out. As it does in central Indiana in January, February timeframe. So we're going to be at that pop-up on Thursday night and broadcasting from there, talking with Tim and talking with some of the other folks at the Inferno Room. And we've got some other remote events that we're planning as well. So excited about all of that. But in the meantime, if you are watching the show on YouTube, mahalo, appreciate you. But I would always encourage you, come on out and watch us every Tuesday night on YouTube live. We're here every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. And we have what you saw here, mixologist, music, cool guests, lots of great art. And then after show, we hang out and chit chat. We just hang out, bunch of friends, just kind of shoot the shit, as it were. So yeah, that's what we do. So make sure to join us. We'll be here next week. Looking forward to it again. And until then, mahalo for joining. And until next week, aloha.
Tiki Trail Live.